that kind of made the round of news. Superman. Superman. Well, that was the headline anyway. Superman is bi. According to
Buy my book.
according to according to DC Comics, new DC Comics Superman John Kent comes out as bisexual. John Kent inherited the mantle of Superman from his father Clark Kent, as is seen putting his own spin on the Man of Steel and Superman, Son of Kal-El. In the upcoming Superman Son of Kal-El #5, the 17-year-old comes out as bisexual. IGN was able to debut the first plot details, revealing that John Kent starts a relationship with Jay Nakamura, a hacktivist who is a huge fan of Lois Lane. The writer Tom Taylor also debuted a still from the comic that shows Superman kissing him. We didn't go that far. We went just before the kiss with our graphic.
Why is
Taylor,
that?
because I don't know, it's the one I found that fit our window. Really, I mean, it's more technical than anything else. Taylor, the writer behind the series, also discussed how it was important for him to write a Superman for the new modern era. Over the years in this industry, it probably won't surprise you to hear I've had queer characters and storylines rejected. I felt like it was letting people down that I loved every time this happened. We're in a very different and much more welcome place today than we were 10 or even 5 years ago. When I was asked if I wanted to write a new Superman with a new #1, I knew replacing Clark with another straight white savior could be a real opportunity missed. I've always said everyone needs heroes and everyone deserves to see themselves in their heroes. Today, Superman, the strongest superhero on the planet, is coming out. But it's not really Superman. It's not a Superman, right? And didn't we just do this with Robin? Like, I feel like it's interesting, right? There was Tim Drake came out, and I enjoyed the Tim Drake stuff in terms of reading the explanations of the writer and how they're kind of honoring what was come before in terms of the storylines. That this is about Tim Drake, kind of searching for himself and things like that. And I thought that was kind of interesting. This is also interesting, but it's kind of one of those cheap clickbait kind of headlines, though, when it comes to it, right? I mean, it's a multiverse story. It's Superman's son, but obviously, you read on the news. I mean, I got people texting me and messaging me like, Superman's gay now? And it's like, well, yeah, it kind of looks a lot like Superman. I do agree. But it's not, it's not Clark Kent. And it's okay that it's John Kent. But feels like one of those gotcha headlines where, I mean, even Robin to an extent was kind of a gotcha headline because you have Tim Drake. There's so many iterations of Robin, but I think that maybe not to the same extent that the media kind of portrays this as, Superman comes out. It's like, well, yeah, I guess he's taking up the mantle of Superman, and yes, it's his son, and he's bisexual. That's great, but I don't know. I feel like it's designed to enrage.
The headline is definitely. I mean, the article in it of itself is loaded with clickbaity stuff and misdirection. Like I said, I really have no problem with things like this. I just have a problem with the way they're marketed.
Yeah.
I understand that you need to attract as much attention as humanly possible to, generate traffic to your site so that
Sure.
people will come and buy your, wares and stuff like that. But, not only is it a push for inclusivity and, like diversity, whatever that hot button word is. Whatever diversity means, because I mean, it only means something significant to one group of people. But it is also a kind of a thumb in the to the nose, to the people who demur against stuff like this. So
Sure.
it's its own, it's its own battle arena. And you get like a little piece of information from it, and then you click on it and you're like, oh, it's about this as opposed to that, or whatever. Meantime, like the whole wellspring has sprung up, and there's protesters on both sides and sharpening sticks and knives and stuff like that. And it's all BS. All of it is
Yeah.
BS. It's fine. I don't really, I don't really care what any of these characters do. I think that they need to have a life outside of being a superhero. If it's with a man as opposed to being with a woman, that's perfectly fine. I do believe in intersectionality, and I do believe in representation. I do believe that's important for a positive, self image and stuff like that, which makes a lot more, a lot less psychologically damaged people walking the streets among us who are forming or developing the wrong idea about, whether or not they're included in all of the stuff that they see every day. That kind of stuff is more important than most people think. But for all the good it's doing, the way the guerrilla marketers are framing everything is is just as damaging as the as thing as the discrimination. So, as I've said to you 100 times whenever we've ventured near this topic, it's a fight between people um that have nothing to do with the
Yeah.
where the real struggle is in and of itself.
No, it is, and it's funny too because again, I got messaged by a lot of folks who just don't read comics, and they know that I do, and so they see the headline, and it's immediately, and it could be like, oh wow, this is so great, or wow, this is a really weird because Superman's not supposed to be gay, and now and then obviously you have people that will bring in the political agenda talk and the wokeism and this and that, and but again, it's all based off of the headline, right? And that's what it comes down to, the fact that
Yeah. But once that ball is rolling,
yeah.
you're not going to stop that ball from
No,
rolling,
and it's up to folks to educate themselves on the headline, but that's a tall order these days.
And when does that ever happen?
It never happens.
When do folks ever educate themselves on anything, other than trying to find an article to win a flame war,
Right.
If we're even still calling it that. So, I mean, look, good for Clark Jr. I'm more interested. Like, okay, why did Superman retire? Is he old?
I don't know.
Is he creaky? He's Kryptonian. He's supposed to go like all other iterations of old Clark.
Yeah,
it's just been him with like gray hair, but still being able to kick the whole planet's butt. Whenever he wants to. If you go to Kingdom Come or whatever, so. I get we're doing the kids now. It's an opportunity to kind of reframe characters, and reboot characters without actually getting rid of the other characters, which is a huge criticism that we have.
Mm-hmm.
So we do get a Black Spider-Man, but we still have Peter Parker.
Yeah.
We, in that particular case, we do have a son of Batman. We do have, we did have Super Son, so I know where the kid came from.
Yeah.
But I'm more interested in like, okay, why is he Superman? Where is the other Superman?
Yeah.
Like
what
happened to Clark? Yeah, like is he on vacation? Did he go back to Krypton? Whatever happened to that? So
here's the thing, though.
More interesting than the fact that his son likes to kiss dudes.
Right, and that's the thing. Well, so I'm glad. That's an amazing segue into the one point that I had about it too. All the imagery we see is very homoerotic in nature. I mean, it's very the Robin when the story of Robin came out, it was like a more typical comic book art. It was Batman Urban Legends #6. You look at the cover; it looks like a typical cover. You even look at the moment where Tim Drake is like, "I'd like to go on a date with you," and there's nothing suggestive sexually about it, and I'm really just. I'm focusing on that. I'm staring at this image, and I know there's another promo image too, and I'm like, they're really pushing this angle to it. So the only reason to buy this thing is if you are into this kind of relationship or artwork. I don't see it as from a comic book fan perspective. Who's he fighting? I don't know. Who's the villain in it? I don't know. Who's the, am I opening up, and again, I'm just talking about the marketing. I have no idea if the story's good. It's not out yet. I have no idea, but I'm just saying in terms of what they're showing us, it's basically like, hey, this is a big deal. And it comes like 2 months, not even 2 months later after Robin is also now bi. So it's very curious.
Everybody loves you when you're bi.
What's that?
According to Living Color. It's a song from Living Color.
Oh.
Everybody loves you when you're bi. So that they're hoping that the characters being bi will cause people to buy a lot of issues, and then
I did my
and
homework.
then once they've sold those issues out, they'll be like bye bye to that
Right.
plot line, and everything will change. So
Right.
it's
Well, I mean, look, I mean, Clark Kent, if Clark
into
Kent
the
ever comes
sweet
back,
by and by.
you know, I know some people on Twitter were mad at Brian Bendis for accelerating the age of this character. That this character came in much younger and was with Damian Wayne, and they've subsequently
Super Sons.
Yeah, so they subsequently
which I actually liked. I enjoyed that
Okay.
that line.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, everybody's got to grow up sometime. Fine, like I said, here's the problem. This is the problem that always happens, right? You get these marketers, they come out, and they make a marketing splash, right, to get your attention, right? But then it riles up the entire situation.
Yep.
The people who are supposed to be served by this, who they're hoping will buy the comics. I'm not even gonna give you that tagline that they don't even read comics or whatever. Here's the thing. They're like, oh, okay. This is a reach for, inclusivity. But then, the vitriol is so bad that it, because of the stir up, that it does more damage than good because of the way it's marketed.
Sure.
So the people who it's supposed to serve don't get served either way. And then on top of it all, if it's not done well, it becomes exploitation.
Yeah.
Instead of inclusivity.
A lot of pressure.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a delicate thing. It can be done well. It's been done well. It should be done. I'm all for it being done. I don't think this is the particularly good way to do it.
Made me think of Alpha Flight. When North Star. I think it was Alpha Flight 92. Yeah. Am I right, or is it just came out in 92? I don't remember exactly which issue it was.
It was. I think that was 92. I think it was.
It definitely came out in 92. I don't remember if it was Alpha Flight 92.
Because even because I remember my unenlightened reaction to it, so it had to be in the early 90s when I was at schmuck. So it had to be 92. I was like, I don't know. I'm not gonna reveal how old I was then, but I was very young. That was very, very, and much more handsome.
Alpha Flight 106. That was the actual issue.
So it was the year 1992.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Steve Ovecki, the enemy is boomers. Always.
Of course they are. I remember the Alpha Flight thing was on the news.
That's what I remember, too.
It was
I kept thinking to myself, no one reads
news.
Alpha Flight.
Which is probably why they said, this is a good place to try this.
It was a safe place. Look, the books, it just goes back to what you said. The books that have the least amount of pressure can do the most daring things. This is daring, but boy, oh boy.
I don't even know if it's daring. Like, okay, a character's gay. Like characters are gay all over the place now.
Right.
And I'm not saying there's too much of it. So nobody get snarky with me. I'm just saying it's not a I had dinner with one of my best friends who came out like a long time ago, and I just remember we were talking, and I remember when he came out, and I remember what a giant deal it was back in the end of the 80s, the beginning of the 90s. And I'm like, can you imagine making a big deal about something like that today? Now that is a very big part of some people's lives. It is a very traumatic, can be a very traumatic thing, especially if you're not lucky enough to have people around you who are supportive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a momentous thing like it used to be, right? Yeah. So it's just like, okay, this kid, and he's not even. It's just same with the Miles Morales thing, where he's not black and he's not Hispanic, but he's both black and Hispanic. So making him bi is leaves the door wide open for you to be like, well, the gay storyline isn't working, so get him a girl, and then we'll do the next 10 issues with him and his girlfriend, and then we'll see who complains the most, and then we'll switch it back and forth. You want to make a bold statement, say he's outright gay. This is not even, the statement's not even that bold.
Yeah.
So
especially a character like him that doesn't have the same history that Tim Drake does, where you have you have to honor the past, or else.
Yeah, the kid's a clean slate,
right?
So you can do whatever you want.
I don't disagree with that. Cameron Christopher Payne says they could have done it without making an issue, but then no one would have bought the book. No one would be talking about the book.
I mean, marketing in and of itself is the definition of it is making an issue, of everything. So I'm not talking about like not mentioning it, because I think that can be just as detrimental as talking about it too much.
Sure.
But there is a way to do it. There's a tasteful way to do it. And then there's a let's get as many angry hits as humanly possible way to do it. And I think this is the other way.
I think so too. What do you guys think? Is this over the top? Share your Comic-Con experiences. If you were at New York Comic-Con, let us know in the chat, in Facebook, and in YouTube. When we come back, it's Bond, Rogue Review Bond time. We're going to take a look at No Time to Die. It will be as spoiler-free as humanly possible. Yeah, we can pull this off when we come back. Hi guys, Mike Dolce here from the Rogue Wave podcast. If you like this video, please feel free to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. It really helps us out. Leave a comment, let us know what you'd like to see in future episodes, and tune in every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, for a brand new episode of the Rogue Wave podcast.